Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Meri was Kody's first wife, the woman who supported him as he embarked on his path into plural marriage, forsaking physical comfort, emotional security, and finally, her dignity in order to construct the family Kody claimed to envision. What began as a love story based on optimism and dedication devolved into emotional neglect, betrayal, and public humiliation. Meri has been constantly set aside over the years, not only in private but also on the public stage, making their relationship one of the most difficult to witness. Now that the dust has settled from several separations and the family has fractured, viewers are left wondering, are Kody and Meri still friends? Or has that bridge been burned? The reality is complicated, just like the story. To properly appreciate the depths of Meri's mental wounds at the hands of Kody Brown, we must examine the 6 most painful ways he has injured her, and why any connection between them now appears tenuous at best. 1. Emotional neglect and public rejection. One of the first and most terrible betrayals Meri experienced was Kody's complete emotional retreat from their relationship. For years, Sister Wives cameras captured subtle, and not so subtle, glimpses of Kody's emotional distance from Meri. However, things changed dramatically in season 16, when Kody openly declared on camera that he no longer considered himself married to Meri. He indicated unequivocally that he would never revive their romantic relationship, describing their marriage as dead. Meri saw this as a public evisceration rather than a private anguish. Kody didn't even give Meri the respect of having that chat behind closed doors. Instead, he made it apparent in interviews, confessionals, and even to other family members that he was over her, romantically, emotionally, and spiritually. This rejection was about more than simply love, it was about respect, which Meri received none of. It was heartbreaking to watch her sit stoically through those moments, occasionally attempting a grin despite knowing she was being humiliated on national television. Even worse, Kody frequently depicted her as the one, holding on unnecessarily, implying that Meri was clinging to a dead relationship. What's the reality? She was clinging to hope, which Kody crushed with cruelty. That kind of emotional neglect leaves scars that don't heal easily, no matter how much someone claims to have moved on. 2. The legal divorce. Meri's sacrifice for Robin's benefit. Perhaps one of the most emblematic acts of betrayal in Meri's relationship with Kody was her agreement to formally divorce him, so that he could legally marry Robin Brown. The motivation for this choice, at least officially, was that it would allow Kody to adopt Robin's children from her previous marriage. While that rationale may be true, viewers couldn't help but observe how swiftly Kody appeared to adjust his priorities when his legal union with Robin was finalized. For Meri, signing paperwork was more than just a formality. It was a symbolic surrender of her position as Kody's legal partner, and it signaled the start of her emotional isolation. What exacerbated the matter was the fact that Robin quickly became the de facto principal wife, both emotionally and practically. Kody's emphasis was nearly entirely on Robin and her children, leaving Meri in a distant ghost of what their relationship had previously been. Meri sacrificed everything to help Kody raise his family the way he desired, but in exchange, she suffered neglect, alienation, and eventual public rejection. The legal divorce may have been presented as a necessary, practical move, but for Meri, it was a deeply personal hurt that altered the dynamics of their whole marriage, and not for the better. 3. The catfishing scandal and Kody's cruel judgment. Meri's emotional isolation led to the now famous catfishing scandal. Meri, who was very lonely and emotionally abandoned, started an online contact with someone she thought was a man who could provide her with the affection and company she lacked at home. The story erupted when it was revealed that she had been catfished by a woman posing as a man. While Meri was definitely culpable for her actions, Kody delivered a harsh, one-sided judgment. Instead of expressing sympathy for a woman who had been emotionally starved in her marriage for years, Kody used the incident as a public pretext to remove himself from her. He weaponized the episode against her, claiming that it was the final straw that ended their relationship, despite the fact that it had been deteriorating long before the catfishing occurred. Throughout Sister Wives specials, confessionals, and public interviews, Kody constantly insulted Meri, allowing her to bear the brunt of the blame. Robin, of course, remained silent or strategically withdrew herself from the situation. What should have served as a wake-up call to Kody about the catastrophic repercussions of his emotional neglect became just another nail in Meri's emotional coffin. Rather than stand by his wife's side as she publicly crumbled, Kody portrayed himself as a victim of betrayal, refusing to accept responsibility for creating the conditions that led to Meri's actions. 4. Favoritism for Robin and the destruction of family unity. While Kody's legal divorce from Meri and the aftermath of the catfishing controversy were very painful betrayals, his overt favoring of Robin is possibly the most evident kind of emotional cruelty he has displayed. What started out softly in earlier seasons became an indisputable truth in later seasons. Kody favored Robin. He lived with Robin, put her children first, and openly admitted to having a romantic relationship with only her. Christine and Janelle may have been frustrated by Kody's favoritism, but for Meri, who began this journey with Kody when they were both young and hopeful for plural marriage, it seemed like the ultimate smack in the face. Meri had an important role in establishing this household. She helped raise the children. She was there when they were broke and struggling, living in tiny dwellings and scraping together resources to get by. However, when Kody eventually attained relative financial comfort and public notoriety, Robin experienced the benefits of that stability. Instead of fostering togetherness among sister wives, Kody's actions generated a schism that not only alienated Meri, but also divided the family into split, distant connections. His fondness for Robin was more than just favoritism. It was a full rejection of the family structure he had claimed to believe in. 5. Manipulation and gaslighting on national television. Gaslighting is a type of psychological manipulation in which someone attempts to undermine your own experiences, memories, or perceptions. Kody has used this strategy with Meri in ways that have outraged spectators. Kody would frequently change the story during their public therapy sessions or family gatherings, implying that Meri was the problem, that she was overly emotional, or that she simply wasn't putting in enough effort to heal their relationship. Meanwhile, anyone with eyes saw Meri constantly spreading olive branches in an attempt to retain some sort of a relationship with him. He frequently portrayed himself as the reasonable, burdened patriarch forced to deal with needy spouses, entirely ignoring Meri's years of abandonment and rejection. This manipulation was not limited to private interactions. It was on public show for millions of viewers, making Meri appear silly or desperate, all while Kody sat back and refused to accept his involvement in the breakdown of their relationship. Over time, viewers realized that Kody wasn't just distancing himself from Meri. He was deliberately altering the narrative to make him the victim and Meri the emotional liability. That type of psychological betrayal is one of the most heinous forms of emotional abuse, and Meri had to go through it not once, but several times on national television.